Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm the Delivery Wiz, and I'm back today with another video. This is Vegas Gig Life Vlog episode 28, and today we are going to do 5 DoorDash and 7 Lyft rides to keep pace with our Quest stuff. The DoorDash doesn't have a Quest, but I want to get 100 deliveries in before the end of the month and AR above 70 to prepare for this preferred driver program that they have out east. They'll eventually roll it out here, and I want to be ahead of the game to roll out some content for all you out there. Anyhow, as well as the Lyft is a weekly $100 bonus if you do 50 rides for owning an EV. We've done that once so far. The 2 other attempts that we made, we come short because it gets packed on the weekends or slow and the rides are long. So we're getting ahead of the game this week. That is the plan for today is Wednesday, April 10th. We have our first order is Saffron of India right behind me. Popeyes is right across the street, so it's like 50 yards away. $14.50 for 12 miles. It's not great, but it's an order. It took a half hour to get. Okay, we're here. We're going to go grab it. We're going to deliver it, and hopefully tonight's going to be a good night. All right, we dropped that off. It was 29 minutes. $14.50. 11.4 miles or whatever it was. It was true. There was a shorter way for 8.5 miles. It was through the city. Anyhow, DoorDash kicked us out because our dash ended at 6 o'clock, even though we got a slot reserved at 7. On a side note, as we're driving west into the sun, and my face is probably as bright as Rudolph's nose, InstaCart has been pinging me nonstop along the way, but it has been nothing above $10. Just let me know in the comments below what your threshold for Instacart is. Mine is $10 for the most part, unless it's like 2 or 3 items for a mile, 2 miles for $9, then I'll take it. This is one of the downfalls of being a gig worker for DoorDash and why some people prefer UberEats over it. They take you out of the zone and then they kick you off because your dash expired and don't offer you anything. Then you got to drive all the way back, which is, let's say, half the distance, so 5 miles back to the zone. I mean, come on, DoorDash, couldn't you just go ahead and let me stay on because you know I have a shift booked at 7 to 9:30 since I took one way out of the zone, which is another thing I will, groan and moan about a little bit, and I have before. There should be a bonus for distances like that. I didn't get a chance to see the breakdown, but I'm guessing most of that was tip. It was a nice house with a Mercedes in front. So I don't know what the base pay was. I haven't looked yet. When I look, I'll let you know. But there was a 14-mile trip to the restaurant and there. They should have limitations, okay? Especially if they have every area across the country broke down into zones. If they're going to drive you out of a zone and not get you anything back and kick you off, it should be like, let's say, a $5 bonus. But, they're not going to do that. And a lot of times, as other drivers out there, as you well know, DoorDash manipulates us with the acceptance rate by dangling low-paying orders in front of us constantly until we get flustered. A, we turn it off, or B, we just go ahead and say, you know what, I have to take this one because I passed my buffer. So I'm going to take this trash order. Congratulations, DoorDash, you win. So just anybody watching this, use this as a learning example. Build yourself up a buffer on the acceptance rating because you will have to reject some stuff. Just because you're above 70% does not guarantee you high-paying offers every offer. Although I believe they should have something like that. Even if they raise it to 80% or higher, you should always get an offer that's better than, a $2 11-mile offer or whatever other nonsense they have. Okay, we're gonna deviate from the plan. We got a 15-item, $17 Smith's 2 delivery offer. Very close together, a couple miles. Not gonna say no to that. That's pretty good cash flow. You should take those even if you're out on a mission. I have plenty of time to get 5, 6, 7 orders on DoorDash. It's not gonna go anywhere. We did cross back into the zone. I paused it, and you're wondering, hey Wiz, what about Lyft? Yes, I'll get to Lyft after the DoorDash, or in between. We'll see how that works out. But for right now, Smith's, 2 deliveries, 15 items. All right, welcome back. We finished the Smith's 2 deliveries. It was 16 items. It didn't take long. One out of stock item. Didn't affect the tip. 17.36 I think it was, and about a half hour. It was quick. And of course, I turned on DoorDash. I'm trying to head west to the Centennial area, and right now they got me because I can't reject too much. I want to get above 70%, and I'm in the mid 60s. They hit me with not one, but two Raising Cane's orders. At least here in the valley, when you deliver for Cane's, it's usually no tip orders, and that's the case. I'll share the screenshots when I'm complete. 2 deliveries, probably like 8 miles, maybe $7. It's brutal. It wouldn't be so brutal, I guess, if I didn't have to order the food and deliver it, but I got to order, pay, and deliver it. It's pretty rough. All right, so we finished the Cane's, and it was as bad as I thought it was. The bad thing about Cane's, again, is you have to order and pay and then deliver. So the first one was a lot of items, three separate dinner orders and 3 drinks. It only went a mile, but it paid $3.50, 0 tip. And the mile was back west, which would have been nice. But then they stacked the second one on me, which was 4.5 miles, and paid $3.75, $2.75 base pay and $1 tip. Thank you, at least for giving me a tip. We greatly appreciate that. The first one was 0 tip. So 2 orders, okay, we got 3 done. Anyhow, the sucky thing about the second Cane's is they took me all the way out to, let's say, Martin Luther King and 215, which is way out of the zone I'm trying to work in twice today. So I'm just going to tell you from my own perspective, DoorDash needs to change this zone thing. They need to just keep it wide open like Uber does. It works, okay? And they should do a better job of getting you an order back towards where you're going, or when you get there, to get you the best order that they have available at the time, to reward you for going way out of your way out of the zone, especially on a stacked order that didn't really pay that well. Okay, so now I have to drive back to the zone, and then we'll continue our dash. Here we go. Go to KFC, which I just passed. $4 high-paying order, 1.9 miles. Absolutely. Now you just got to make a U-turn. Okay, we're off to KFC. Well, that didn't take long once we crossed back into the zone, and less than 2 miles for $4. It's not great, but it is our 4th order. All right, we're back. As you see, we're driving on the highway, hands-free. Highway drive assist for the win in the EV. We left off with Kentucky Fried Chicken, $4 for 1.5 miles. It took 8 minutes once we arrived. I was there in a minute because as soon as I took it, I told you all I had to do was make a U-turn. I had just passed KFC. 8 minutes to prepare one order, and it wasn't even that much. So we dropped that off, and stupidly, I took a grocery order from Smith's right across the street. $25, 10 miles, like 15 items. I shouldn't have done it because I had a plan tonight. So when you go out and you have a plan, stick to it. Take it from me, because we lost $4 on this order because the deli wasn't open. We couldn't get 2 pounds of thin sliced ham and turkey, boar's head. That's the worst. It's done. It's over with. It's now 9:14. The reason I wanted to not do that, and I shouldn't have, is because from 9 to midnight is 20% turbo on Lyft, and I wanted to try to work the 3 hours or at least get the 7 rides ASAP. We still have 1 DoorDash order to go. I'm going to turn it on here in a second. I just wanted to get past Decatur because we've been out east all evening, and I want to get the heck out of there. So I am driving west up to Durango in 215 and a pull in. All right, a quick update. We have been sitting in a parking lot, and we've been back online with DoorDash for 10 plus minutes, and we're in a hot zone and we're not getting anything. Sometimes it's just brutal. Why? It says it's busy over here and there's nothing. And it's 9:23. I got 7 minutes before this shift ends on DoorDash. Yes, I blew a lot of time by shopping. That was stupid, and it's not going to happen again. I'm going to focus on the DoorDash and the Lyft quests. It's hard to not multi-app. It's in my nature now and ingrained in me to turn everything on and field the best offer. Although sometimes Instacart, especially this week, the best offers have been nixed because of out-of-stock items or the deli being closed. All right, let's see if we can get something. Otherwise, we're going to start moving south to turn on Lyft. And finally, it goes off. It's a horrible offer. It's $3.75 for 4.7 miles. Walgreens, shop and deliver, one item. But we're going to take it because it heads us down south, and I want to head south towards Summerlin for maybe some better rides for Lyft. So we're going to do this, and we'll be finished with DoorDash for today. Oh, I almost forgot. The Walgreens is right across the street, so it takes me less than a minute to get there as well. So that's the other reason. Walgreens is across the street, and then we can head down south and then turn on Lyft. All right, so we finished up DoorDash for the day, 5 deliveries, $39.50, about 2 hours. Now we're steaming down to Charleston and 215, where we just got our first Lyft ride with the 20% turbo. I'm probably not going to bring you along with every ride, although maybe I'll do an update in between. This one is definitely going south to Durango Casino, which is as far south as you can get. Well, not really, but for me, south, as far south as we can get away from home that we would really like to. Anyhow, the DoorDash wasn't that great, but we did supplement some InstaCart in there, and I believe after 4 hours we're at like $83 and some change. We're going to try to get 7 rides in before I get too tired. I didn't want to stay out too long, but it is till midnight, so I think I can make it another 2 hours because it's 9:49 right now, and we'll see what happens. But this is a 10-11 mile ride for $13. It has the 20% turbo on it. All right, we're back. It is 11:41. We did 4 rides on Lyft for $34.85. It was slow. First one took me all the way down south to Durango Casino, and the next ride took me all the way back to Cheyenne near my house. Then the next one was to near Suncoast on Rampart and Summerlin Parkway, and then one more after that from JW Marriott to take an old lady home after she played her slot machines. It was a couple miles. And then I turned on DoorDash because in Summerlin it's usually busy at this time. And of course I got a Roberto's Tacos, and those never usually pay, but this paid $12.50 for 11 miles. It was a $10 tip. Thank you very much for the tip. We appreciate it. I had to reject one Lyft ride that was going all the way to the Palms. I probably should have taken that and not taken the DoorDash, because down by the Palms is always some short rides back and forth around there. And you're like, well, why not the Strip? Because in previous videos, I avoid the Strip, although for this quest, I may have to open it up because we're only at 11 or 12 rides of 50, and it ends Monday morning. Tomorrow, I don't know how much I can do. Friday night, I'm usually busy with my pool league, and Saturday, I have some other things to do. So Sunday, to try to jam pack all of them in Sunday, I've tried before, but a lot of times you just get some long runs unless you go down to the Strip. But just because they're 2 mile runs could take a half an hour. So we'll see how that goes. We made roughly $130 in 5.5, 6 hours. It's not great. It's not horrible. It's about $25 an hour or so, maybe less. It's a Wednesday night. I mean, it's not... The problem with Lyft is the local people don't tip, and we didn't get any tips. So, and just like that, it's the end of today's video. I sure hoped you enjoyed this little ride along again. Today's quest was to get 5 deliveries on DoorDash, which we got 6, and to get 7 rides on Lyft, we got 4. We're going to still try probably off camera for a little while. I got to eat something though, and that is that. Anyhow, be sure and check out my shorts. There's a couple of good ones. One has just reached 5 million views. I'm not going to spoil it and tell you what it's about, but if you haven't checked out my shorts, go ahead and check out my shorts section. I think they're pretty good. Maybe you don't, and you can comment on them. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you like this video, please thumbs up, get us in the algorithm. And you know what I'm going to say next, and I always go with this. But today was Instacart bad offer day. So please don't go pick up a 136 item, 279 count order for $21 and some change. Just don't do it.